Yo, I thought I would make a little guide on Hashashin, on the different movement abilities and combos. The class is currently in Korea and global apps. Maybe on console, I don't know. It hasn't been announced when he's coming out to EU or NA, and his awakening hasn't even been teased. It has been determined that it's gonna be a double-edged sword, but that could literally mean anything. So let's get into the movement abilities. For movement, he has a ability very similar to Ninja's Ghost Step, which is shift and any directional key. It's an iframe. Well, actually, it's not that simple. When he starts the ability, it's super armor, and when it ends, it's super armor as well. But midway, it's a iframe. Then, as a follow-up, when you press R and B after this ability or some different abilities, but you're mainly going to be using it out of this Ghost Step thing. So you press R and B, and that's a lingering super armor. So when he's crouching in that, when he's on the ground, it still lingers. And the third main movement protected ability is WF, which is a super armor that doesn't really linger at all. So you can't really combine them to go too far, fully protected, right? Because you can maybe do like this, and you're done. What you're gonna be doing in most duels is just jumping around your enemy and using your block as a way to protect yourself. And what you can also do is use these two abilities. The only real way to use them, in my opinion, is hotbar. This one is only hotbar, and this has some other input that I cannot figure out, and no, it is not shift F. So you can just move around, right? And when you like run out of these movement abilities, you can just do these instead, which are super armor, and stay protected like that. If you were just chasing someone, which this class is very bad at so far, you could also use this ability, which is an unprotected floating ability, but it's pretty fast, so you can catch some people with that if they're not a Musa or something. Right, it has really good bursty movement, but it's not really a chasing class. For the different engages, you have two main engages that I see. Either the shift F, or better show that on the dummies. Yeah, so you have the shift F, which is this. So when you charge that, it's a frontal guard. When you're in the air, it's an iframe, and when you hit the enemy, it's a bound. Pretty good ability. Another one is going to be your sort of a block jump thing. The main usage would be like after a stiff, like that. You press E, or after many other abilities. Also, when someone hits your block, you can press E and you block jump behind the enemy. A really cool thing you can do is do shift F into this. So if you fail the shift F, which is pretty well protected, you can just dash away and then E onto the enemy, and you are allowed to do E for like 5 seconds after any of these abilities. So after someone hits your block, you have like 5-second window to press E and block jump. If you do this, you have like a 5-second window to press E and block jump. Or if you do shift F, I can just walk away, right? Press E and block jump behind them. So that's really cool. Now let's get to the combos. The combos are... there are not many, because we don't have the awakening or succession and we just have the main tree, right? And the biggest damage combo we know right now would be this. A very useful skill as well is the Shift E, which is also your 100%, and it's a very big vacuum. I think it's a little bit bigger than what Valk has, but it does way less damage. It does a small vacuum even though you use it not as 100%, but it's not that big. So this is the 100%. Does okay damage, but nothing too crazy. Valkyrie definitely does more, but the vacuum is pretty big. It will be a very good ability in notables in my opinion, if you combine it with something like this, right? And then suck the enemy. Right, that could be pretty good damage in notables, but we'll see with Awakening and Succession how much this class will change. Since Hashashin is very desert themed, he gets a passive movement speed while running in the desert. It doesn't work when you have your weapons out, but when you put them away, you run very fast. I would say it's a little faster than a camel, unless the camel has the fast steps or whatever the ability's name is. Then the camel would be faster, but I think this is faster than a bad camel. Also it consumes no stamina at all. And Hashashin also has some resistances to desert debuffs. Alright, that's pretty much it for Hashashin's kit so far. I'm really excited about Awakening / Succession. Once that comes out, I'll make a little follow-up guide. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hope you find this guide useful, and see you later.